you doing? Welcome back to Leather Helmet Fandom Sports Podcast. It is week going into week 8, I believe, right? We had a very bad week 7, unfortunately. Both our locks missed. Shout out to the Steelers, but not shout out to the Steelers because
you can suck it.
They are the main reason why we lost our bet. Plus Rams just sucking it and not throwing the cup. So, but let's run over our last weeks.
Yes, we both missed the lock, so both in the negative.
And the bad part too was my units was 10.
That was my biggest bet too.
And yours was 8. I mean, I had a 10-1 too, but it pushed. But this one I felt extremely confident about.
Yeah. I mean, like I said last cast, I was confident, but just, I don't know, something about Steelers, really that whole division. I feel like all those teams, they just either upset people or they just play really.
The unknown games, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers.
All of them.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. But the crazy part is my bet needed Kupp to get 70 receiving yards. This dude in the past 3 years has only missed this twice out of 33 games or something like that, but it was a 91% rate he hit that 70.
Yeah, but he also never had Puka. He only had Puka for 2 games.
2 games that he went over 100 receiving yards.
Somebody that has the same talent-wise as him. I mean, Robert Woods is just a slot, more in my opinion.
I definitely don't think he has the same talent as Kupp, but
Robert Woods wasn't.
Yeah, but I don't think Puka Nacua has the same talent as Kupp. I think Kupp's.
No, not yet, but I think he can grow into that.
Yeah, I think it's more the schemes that they draw up because obviously even Tutu is going off, but still 91%. You can't find that pretty much anywhere.
I don't know.
And the fact that he misses that's insane. Insane to me.
Either way, you ended at negative 12 point something. I'm at negative 7 point something. So you'll be spinning once again.
What are we on our year now?
Year, we're still positive. So that was a negative 20 total, which is
brings us down from our.
Oh, here we go. Big screen.
Brings us down from our goal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold up. Technical.
Obviously, our goal is to finish at 100 plus units for the year. We're approaching 50 units last week, and now we're dropped a little bit back. I believe we're at 20-something units on the year. Bro. If Josh can get this up. 21.
We'll see like
combined profit of 21 on the year. Josh is 19.7, and I am
doing all the hard
1.5. Sheesh.
Well, that's including your lock you just lost.
Oh, okay. So that's live.
8 units? Yeah.
No?
5 units. 5 units. Yeah. So you just lost 5 units Thursday night. So that's
starting on a bad spot, but it's all right. We're going to bounce back. It is what it is. Can't do much about it other than stop making random
I feel
bets.
like a lot of, even like myself, like a lot of bettors feel the need to.
I think I'm done with Thursday night.
Avoid guys that just lost on my big bet. But it's not like your bet was bad.
No, you could have easily went over. You got 70 yards.
But that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I never want to go back to him, but like in reality, you should. Just because if you go back to the bet that was good, the chance of it not hitting twice in a row is like super low. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought about 49ers last week, and they lost 2 weeks in a row horribly.
Yeah, but that might not be a great bet if you looked at it really.
Maybe.
And he also got concussed, so there's whatever.
Oh, Purdy?
You want to hit that? I feel like, what the hell happened?
You just moved our screen. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Like if you move our box down, you can move it a little bit. There you go. There we are. Okay. Pristine. But yeah, I think it was more or less the fact that he could have went over. He got 70 receiving yards, but it was late in the game, and it is what it is. Same thing with Kupp. And then yours was your lock. You want to go over your lock real fast?
Yeah. Oh, I lost? I lost?
No. Thursday one.
Thursday, yeah. So if you missed it, I'm sorry, but it was a good lock. That's halfway done parlayed. I had, not Lions.
Bills,
negative 2.5. Just a bounce back game for them at home. Didn't really see them losing, even though they almost did somehow in a comeback. But yeah, Josh Allen had a really good game. Just didn't happen to go to Diggs too much. Their rookie Kincaid. He looked really good
Really good.
with Dawson Knox out. Cook looked good. Really, everybody looked good. But parlaying that with the Lions -2.5, they get to play the Raiders at home after getting beat like 38-6 to the Ravens. So another bounce back game for them. Jared Goff is way, way, way better of a QB when he's at home, not under pressure. He really is like awful when he like knows he's getting beat. He just gets worse and worse and crumbles.
Yeah. I don't know about worse and worse, but he definitely is not as good as he is when he's already behind.
He just doesn't step up. Like I don't. If I looked it up, he probably has like 2 comebacks in his whole career.
Yeah, it's not so good. Plus, he's always relying.
All right,
on
ready
his
to spin?
offensive line. Yep, spinning for this week.
Spin it away.
Obviously, because I took the L, even though we both took L's, but we will spin away and go on from there.
Which one did you do last week? The give?
They can't see this though, can they?
No, they can.
This whole thing?
No, just this.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I'm saying, what did you do last week?
Rapid Hard, I had to buy it. Did not buy it yet, but all good. I'll buy it.
All right, Rapid Hard. We'll take out.
There's 2 Rapid Hards, isn't there?
Yeah, there's usually 2.
Right there. Double, under double or nothing.
I feel like this is like the old one. Like something's missing, but I could be wrong. All right, ready? And
ready.
Run it.
That definitely does look like the old one. But it didn't say burnt butthole last time.
No, because Go Birds wasn't it?
Dirty birdie shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dirty birdie shot.
Should we do that this podcast
Wait.
or next podcast?
Bro, don't you have like a whole list now?
For what?
Or you just missed the chip last time, right? Yeah, you just missed it, and you got Rapid Hard. I don't know why I was thinking that you got burnt butthole.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, dirty birdie shot. So next
podcast,
I'll mix up concoction. You gotta take a quick swig of it, and yeah, it's not gonna be great. Cause
I don't think I did that last year either. I think only you did.
Yeah, probably.
I know you did for
no,
sure.
No, you did do it, but like I thought mine was just like kind of gross. You picked the nastiest combo in the world. It was like Warm Monster and I don't even know.
It was like beer and
yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
Garlic and maybe
dude,
some
you literally
milk.
put all this garlic and like jerk seasoning. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways,
it's a dirty birdie shot.
I'll find something.
Gotta get it dirty.
All right, on to the actual content for week 8.
We gotta get the giveaway that we did last week. Unfortunately, whoever
we gotta do that too.
Angel Mead did not answer. So we are going to be spinning again this week, and hopefully they answer this time, and hopefully it's someone that I can go to in person so that I can make sure that they answer. But here we go. We're going to be spinning for the giveaway of the cash prize.
I'm going with Buckaroo Bets. My bets on them. Oh, we got to spin again. Oh, maybe not.
Crystal
Mazrock.
I don't even know how to say her last name, to be honest with you.
I said it before. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Got it down.
Close friend. She's not going to be watching this, but luckily for her, she got some cash.
She got some guap.
Go buy them Bud Lights.
Luckily, it's someone we know, and we can make sure that they actually answer, and we'll see them in person. So shout out to Crystal, and let's move on to our props. But before we do our props, we always do our overs, unders, and spreads / money lines. You got any this week?
Yeah, let me pull up my unorganized week.
Unorganized week. It is week 8 going into Halloween
Well,
week.
I have my lock they already gave with the spreads.
Right.
So if you want to try to jump on the Lions -2.5 and, I don't know, find a pick you want to parlay it with for like try to get close to even odds, go for it. But I don't got anything to help you out there. I do not have any other spreads or over-unders.
All right, I got one. This is really just believing on another bounce back week for Rams +6.5 versus Cowboys at -115 for 1 unit. I mean, I get it's at Cowboys, but this is the Rams we're talking about that literally can throw the ball to one of the 3 wide receivers, then they can get the job done. I don't believe Kyron Williams is back. I don't even know when he is. Is he on IR?
Yeah.
But that doesn't really matter to me
11.
because Henderson actually looked nice and he came out last week like you're talking about.
Did you see that they put him back on the practice squad? It's got to be some kind of roster move to try to get some weird space temporarily, but they put him back to practice squad right after the game.
That's weird. He looked pretty good too.
What the hell?
Plus, he knows, obviously, the playbook more than other random running backs that will come in the room. So I think they should keep him. Either way, I think it's going to be more a passing game. I get the Cowboys' pass rush can get to Stafford and be able to make him throw fast and be on his feet and not choke, which he can do, which is why he lost to the Steelers.
Who did the Cowboys play last?
I don't know.
Because I know they lost the 49ers.
Right,
bad.
49ers, they got destroyed by. But their offense is really just a joke. I don't really think they're all that. So with Rams defense being who they have always been and continue to be, obviously they're not as elite as they used to be, but they're still pretty freaking good. Nowadays, I could see them stopping the Cowboys and covering this 6.5 points. I don't get how the Rams are getting 6.5 points versus the Cowboys. It just doesn't make sense to me when I know they can get it done on offense.
I lost to the Steelers, maybe.
Yeah, the only reason I guess losing Steelers, but I know they can get it done on offense because they did it versus Steelers. Just Steelers somehow scored more, but I think it's more or less their defense stopping this offense that's going to win them the game more than their offense winning them the game. So I got that at 1 unit for -115. But let's move over to our props.
Yeah,
I got 4. You got how many? You said 7.
I think 5 or 6.
5 or 6. All right, I'm going to start with mine. Mine's very weird. First time I'm doing it this year. I got Chris Boswell, Steelers kicker, over 5.5 points. So that usually means 2 field goals or a field goal and 3 extra points, I guess you could say, because the extra point gets you 1 point.
They ain't scoring that much, though.
Field goal is 3 points. Obviously, they played Jacksonville Jaguars, which is pretty decent defense lately. But Chris Boswell went over this 5 out of the 6 games that they played. And the one was only 1 week. What? I don't know what I wrote there here, but whatever. 5 out of 6 games that he went over this. And, the one that he went under was only by 1 point, meaning he got a field goal and 2 extra points. So he hit the 5 instead of the 6 points. And Steelers are also bottom 10 on going 4 and 4th, meaning they don't go 4 and 4th that much, which means they're going to kick the field goal and play it safe, especially knowing how great their defense is. And if they just don't choke on offense, then they can usually keep the game close and squeeze out a win, which is usually how they have been winning. So being 5 out of 6 games, knowing Chris Boswell can bomb it from wherever, and he's super accurate, super consistent, I'm going to take it at 2 units, -116.
It's on a kicker.
On a kicker.
All right.
Some good odds. Some good odds.
He's like, fuck these the big name guys.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be able to get offensively enough touchdowns
My only
to
word
stay
would
with
be
Jaguars.
The Jaguars, I really like them in this game, like a lot. And if they get too far ahead, it's not really we don't go 4 and 4th. They don't have a choice. They're going for it.
But that's the thing. I mean, watching the Steelers all this year, I think I missed 1 game. I think it was that they didn't show.
Yeah, like if they're down by more than 2 points, 2 scores
in
the second half.
In the second half, then yeah.
I don't see them.
But in the beginning, I could see them easily getting 1 field goal at least. First half, I can see them 1 field goal at least.
Yeah.
And then to try to come down towards the end and just manage some kind of points because they know their offense can't really get it done. So I don't know. I think it's definitely doable. I mean, considering you got a 5 out of 6 games, it makes sense. But move on to yours.
Sure. So my first of the week, I'm going to ride with Calvin Ridley over 15.5 receiving yards. Obviously, anybody who's had him in fantasy or even bet on him this year,
he's annoyed the shit out of me.
Really not enjoyed the ride. Kind of just, I don't know if you want to compare it to Mike Evans or whatever. It's just up, down. Gets 1 target, gets 12 targets.
He's had 2 good games.
3 targets, yeah. His first game and then like week 5, something like that. But whatever. the dude still has a lot of talent, and just like everybody reiterated, Steelers secondary is the worst in the league currently. Through the first 6-7 weeks, I mean, Kupp obviously didn't reach where you needed him to get to, but that's because Puka put up shit ton of yards too. So they're still allowing 100+ yard receivers left and right, and I think Calvin Ridley at 50.5 is super low. The only reason it's this low is just because he hasn't been getting the targets. It's been Kirk. And in this game, I think the Jags are going to have to just rely on throwing the ball left and right. I think he gets at least 4 or 5 receptions, one big one. So I like his line. I feel like it's just low for him, so I got one unit on it.
I looked at it, and I thought about it too, especially couple of other things to help your bet, which is why I was looking at it even more. Joey Porter Jr., which is our rookie this year, and his dad played for the Steelers a while ago, was a beast. He's questionable, most likely won't play. And then Levi Wallace, which is our other corner, is questionable. Don't know if he'll play. That's a little bit more up in the air, while Porter most likely won't play. And then James Pierre, which has been on the team, and he's done some work. He's also questionable as well. So the secondary being bad as it is, the pass rushing getting to Trevor Lawrence will definitely will happen, but it's more or less that I think it comes down to if Trevor Lawrence can get him the ball and not just check it down to Kirk Cousins and not Kirk Cousins. What's Kirk? Christian Kirk and stupid Evan Ingram, which is the only reason that Calvin Ridley's been bad this year, because Lawrence doesn't know how to freaking throw it downfield because he sucks. But anyway, that helps your thing, and I looked at it. I definitely think it's low as well. But moving on to my second one, I got Chris Olave over 4.5 receptions.
Yeah.
Minus 148. Obviously it's juiced, but I'm going to put 2 units on it. Just like my last bet was 2 units. This one's going to be 2 units again. I saw 4.5. I was thinking it was going to be like 6.5, maybe 5.5. I mean, I was thinking it was going to be 5.5, maybe 6.5 when I went into the lines, and then I saw 4.5, and I was like, dude, I'm taking this bet. This is ridiculous. So I started looking into it more. He went over 5 out of the 7 times. Colts have let up 15 players to get 5 or more receptions in 7 weeks. So basically 2 every single game have gotten this. And I would say the only people that are going to get it is probably either Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, possibly Michael Thomas. If the 2 people are going to get it on the Saints. He averages 9.7 targets per game and has a 55% catch rate, meaning he usually catches 10 ball, or he gets 10 targets and catches half of them, a little bit more than half. So that should put him right over the line, which is why it's juiced at 148. But I think with them going up against the Colts surprisingly has been looking better than I thought they were going to be, with Minshew being the definitive starter week in, week out. So, yeah, I think he can get this done. One of the times that he went under, they blew out the Patriots, but the Saints usually are always down at half and are playing from behind, regardless of who they play, meaning that they're never going to be up by a lot and just running the ball, unfortunately. And their defense usually just keeps them in the game, so they're usually always on their feet throwing the ball. And Derek Carr just has been known for this gunslinger stuff, but doesn't really have anyone this year to do it other than Chris Olave, even though Chris Olave does every single tree route possible, so route on the tree. So I think it's definitely possible for him to go over this 4.5, and I'm going to take it at 2 units.
Yeah, my next one's actually almost identical.
Receiving yards?
No, I still have his receptions, but I parlayed it with another guy's receptions in the game. So I did alternate receptions. I got Chris Olave 4+ receptions.
Okay.
And Josh Downs 3+ receptions.
Okay, I like that.
3+
or 3.5?
3+, so 3 and he's good. Yeah.
They had him at even?
No, that's alternate lines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're.
I was about to say, I've never seen that. But
yeah. I mean, pretty much everything you said. It's just my only worry is I feel like it's going to be right in between 4 and 7. Because I feel like they're going to limit his targets a little bit more. Like, he's been getting 15-15 the last couple of games. And they've just been really not on the same page, him and Carr. So I feel like he's going to kind of stray away. Like, they'll try to fix it by doing, like, just routes they know he can manage and blah, 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 and they're on the same page. But because of that, they might rely a little bit more on their defense this game. So if he only gets 8, 9 targets, I think 4 is almost guaranteed in my eyes. Like,
Definitely.
it's very, very difficult for Chris Olave not to get 4. And then Josh Downs, he's the new up-and-coming rookie for the Colts.
Oh, so you took Chris Olave at 3.5?
4+, yeah. Well, 4+ receptions, so he's got to get 4.
Oh, okay. And I got him at 4.5. Gotcha.
Yeah. So just a little more.
Super confident then.
Yeah, like I'm
Especially
very
with
confident in the
Downs.
4. The 4.5, I wasn't really, like, I liked it a lot. It's just, I'm like, bro, it's already juiced, and there's a chance he loses it on the hook at 4.
Yeah, you know, Gino's losing the hook at receptions, but
I just feel like only because like how they've been off page, him and Carr. But either way, Josh Downs on the other side of the ball has been like getting, I want to say 10 targets, 9 targets. He's honestly looking like the best receiver, at least for Minshew.
oh yeah,
Since Minshew
Minshew's down
started.
for Downs.
So he's gonna throw a lot. He's gonna keep trusting this guy that has been really bonding together since he started. Not that Pittman can't have and won't have a decent amount of targets too, but
I feel like with Pittman's talent, he knows that if he passes to Pittman, his passes have to be a lot more accurate and usually a lot more higher, which means he's throwing the risk of throwing a pick.
yeah. And his
Someone behind him.
Josh
whereas
Downs is a better catch rate too.
Yeah,
A lot better than Pittman.
Downs is a little bit more close, lower to the ground.
I wasn't really a big fan of him coming in the NFL, but I guess he just has good hands and plays smart.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely came out of the
but yeah,
woodworks, that's for sure.
it's still juiced because you were negative 148 or something.
Yeah.
So mine's still negative 139.
Damn, that is pretty juiced. Still.
But I think it's safer in my eyes than even Chris Olave's 4.5. Because I don't think Josh Downs has any chance of missing that.
You haven't really mentioned who do you think's going to be able to hold the lead majority of the time, even if it's only like 3 points.
Hold the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick somebody in this game, I would pick the Saints because of their defense.
Yeah.
But I think this one, a lot of people are, I guess, because of last week, Colts like barn burner high scoring game,
Yeah.
are expecting a high scoring game. But I don't think this one will be. Like, it'll be a good amount of like up and down the field,
Not versus Saints, no, definitely not.
but not a high scoring game like people are projecting. So,
right.
yeah, I got 2 units on that.
All right, another 2-unit one. Going on to my next one, I got Bijan Robinson. I'm fairly certain that this guy is my favorite prop bet dude this year.
Why?
I don't know why, but
He's got a headache and he's out.
maybe because he's annoying to me in fantasy, and I just know his potential, and I know how talented he is and how ridiculous he is in some of the plays you see that he just doesn't get the work. For whatever reason, I don't know. You could talk to their head coach, which a lot of people have talked about last week, which is another reason why I'm going on his over this week for 46.5 rushing yards. That's extremely low if you know anything about Bijan Robinson talent for a running back. I would say he's probably up there with the echelons of Saquon and like Eckler, to be honest, if not better than Eckler.
He's definitely more talented.
Yeah. So it's just more or less if he gets the workload. Obviously, who knows what happened? I mean, I got screwed. I think I got 1 point on him last week in fantasy because he decided that he didn't feel good during pregame, and they didn't feel like reporting it at all. And then I just had a dude sitting there eating a bunch of donuts, so that was great. But I think it's more or less just a sickness thing in his stomach. Little bug got to him, so I don't think that's going to happen again this week.
Where do they play? Falcons play
somewhere here.
Should say.
I'm sure I'll get to it. But anyway, I got at minus 114 for 1 unit. He's gone over this 3 of the 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's a tough rush defense. Not awful.
Titans,
Recently.
right?
Titans, yeah.
Yeah. And one was under by the hook, so he got 46.5 one game, and then 3 of the other games he went over. With the last week usage and the questionable all around, like I just talked about, him and the Falcons being in the game, if not in the lead, I see him getting the usage to go over this versus a Titans that has no, I can't think of his quarterback, he's horrible anyway. Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, he's not playing this week.
Yeah, he's not playing. Malik most likely will be the quarterback, starting quarterback.
Willis, didn't they say? Or they're not sure?
Yeah, I think it's him
The
starting.
rookie.
Which helps even more, even though I think Ryan Tannehill doesn't really help the Titans. I think that all the quarterbacks are just not really starting caliber quarterbacks, to be honest, on that team. So they're really just going to rely on Henry like they always have. And now the receiving back, Tyson or whatever his name is, I don't really care that much to think about it. But anyway, the past 3 weeks, the Titans have let up running backs go over this line. And the first 3 weeks, they played the Saints with no Kamara, which then no one went over. They played the Chargers with no Eckler, which then, again, no one went over. And they played Browns with no Chubb, which, again, no one went over. But the past 3 weeks, everyone's gone over this line of 46.5 rushing yards. And I feel like if Chubb was there versus them, probably would have went over. If Eckler was over there playing versus them, probably would have over 46.5. And I would imagine same thing with Kamara. You probably would go over 46.5, maybe not, maybe right around the 46.5. But that would be like 6 out of 6 weeks that Titans let running backs go over this number. And if you're going to play him being sick last week, the reason why he's going to have a bad week this week, I don't know why you would think that, but yeah, it is what it is. Tyler Algier used to get, 4 something a carry, yards per carry last year on that offensive line. He's only getting 3 yards per carry this year with the usage he gets. Obviously, it doesn't get the same usage, but it's literally just above 2.9 for his yards per carry. So if the coach looks at any of that statistics at all, he knows that Tyler Algier is not getting the work done, and Bijan Robinson can if you just give him the work. But for whatever reason, they won't give him anything more than 14 attempts. So we shall see if things change, and I think they will not change this game, but we'll be able to go over the 46.5. Like I said, that's minus 114 for 1 unit.
All right, on to me.
Yes.
So I got my favorite rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. He's having a not record breaking, but borderline could break the rookie record for passing yards.
I think it's funny, once he took that bet, his team started like not being as good.
Yeah, but he also lost Tank Dell for like a week and a half. Yeah. He played a little bit harder competition. But I think he's more than capable of playing as far as passing goes. He gets Tank Dell back this week. Pretty much full health. Like always, Texans aren't really a favored team. I mean, they are this week, but I feel like it still doesn't matter.
Who do they play?
They play the Panthers.
Okay.
So even if they are favored,
Tough passing defense.
their defense is bad enough that the other team's going to score something on them. I mean, like the Panthers might not score 16-20.
Is CJ Thorne back?
But the fact that every week their opponent will put up 16-20 means they're always going to be passing the ball, and it's not like, oh, we're going to run instead, especially because their O-line's trash in the run. So I look to see him continue passing, hopefully be the passing leader of the year, some other bit hits. This week he's over 242.5 passing yards versus the Panthers. The Panthers are pretty good pass defense, just not great, mainly because their offense is trash, so they're always on the field.
I don't know. Xavier Woods is questionable. Von Bell, their safety, which was on the Bengals and played pretty good, he's out. Their right inside linebacker is questionable.
Bring on the heat. But either way, I just feel like with Dell back, he's explosive. And honestly, I feel like he's making his receivers look good. Like Nico's nothing special, but he's been really good for fantasy. Mechie's slowly coming up and getting some targets. Schultz, pretty reliable at tight end. So yeah, I like it a lot. 242. I feel like he's 100% going over 200. It's just that last push of the 60-plus yards really I need.
It'd be wild to me if obviously it has nothing to do with the your bet, but sort of kind of if the Panthers are last and they get the first overall pick and they take Caleb Williams and just junk Bryce Young. Panthers, Bryce Young.
Take both.
They just drafted him first overall this year, and then they go and they take Caleb Williams. That would be literally insane. But
I honestly don't know why more teams don't draft multiple QBs that are still
good.
very good, and just let them compete.
Yeah, especially at a
like what's wrong with having two good ones? Yeah, rookie contracts. They're both good, and if one gets hurt, at least you have a backup.
The reason Bryce Harper, what am I saying? The reason Bryce Young can't be as good as he was in Ohio State. One, I don't think he's gonna pan out that well anyway. But his offensive line is trash, so maybe you draft the offensive lineman instead. That would probably help out.
But just putting a little bit more on the bet, he's the third or fourth passing. Well, he's fifth or sixth of the year, but he had his bye week already. Okay. He's third or fourth per game. So he's averaging 297 yards per game passing.
I think that's why he was a lot lower.
Only behind like Mahomes, I think one or two others. But yeah, only a couple people, and they're like 310. So he's right up there, almost 300 every game.
All right, moving on to my last prop.
1 unit on CJ Stroud.
And the odds were?
Just negative 114.
All right.
That's been all my bets so far.
All right. My last prop is Christian McCaffrey, running back for the San Francisco 49ers. I am taking his over 75.5 rushing yards at minus 114 for 3 units.
3 years.
Yep. Got a 3 units on his joint. His lines used to be in the high 90s, low 90s, depending on what team he played a couple weeks ago. And then for whatever reason, he got hurt, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
Partial tear.
Yeah, partial tear. So then that obviously set him back a little bit. Plus, the 49ers lost both games the past 2 weeks. So obviously, they're not going to run the ball as much. But regardless, he's still been putting up good yards per carry. And he's gone over this 4 of the 7 weeks. Bengals are 28th in rushing yards allowed per game. So they let a lot of people go over their overs, but 75.5, only a couple players have gone over that. But the good part is we all know CMC's caliber and potential and talent, and the players that are the same caliber as him have went over 100 yards versus the Bengals, and those are Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb, which I would say he's probably better than both of them. I don't know about rushing for Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry, I wouldn't say. I would say both of them are probably better at rushing the ball. He might be better than Derrick Henry, to be honest. Derrick Henry's just more of a explosive. Once he gets an open hole, then he breaks away more than actually hitting like an A or B pocket than Christian McCaffrey can. Plus, Christian McCaffrey is way more agile. He can get out to the outside if one of the pockets closed. So I think he's better than Henry in running the ball. But Chubb, I wouldn't say so. Chubb's the man for running. But regardless, those two went over. So now we're looking at CMC of the same caliber. There's no Debo anymore this week again, which he didn't go over last week, but he was more injured last week than he is this week. I believe they played Thursday. No, they didn't play Thursday.
No,
they played Monday.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help towards my thing, but regardless, Debo's out. So I think that will help not take, rush attempts away from him. And I think with them playing, why don't I have this down? Bengals. With them playing the Bengals, I think it will be either a close game or they'll be in the lead, especially losing the last 2 weeks. Brock Purdy getting all this hate for being a fraud because Trent Williams has been out. Trent Williams most likely will play this week, and he'll be back, whereas the past 2 weeks he has not, which might obviously take into the role of being one of the best left tackles, and CMC going under this back-to-back week. So hopefully he goes on, Trent Williams plays, and Debo's out, and they have a better game, and they want to come out and not lose 3 weeks in a row. So then that gives him over 75.5 rushing yards for minus 114, 3 units. And that's all I got for my props. You got any more?
Yeah, so I got a Rams bet. So kind of what you were expecting almost from your last lock. So I got Cooper Kupp over 85.5 receiving yards, and I'm parlaying that with Puka Nacua to have a quieter game. Still respectable, but quiet. So I'm going to say under 6.5 total receptions for Puka.
Okay.
And more of a Cooper Kupp game. Just really relying on their best target in a game that's going to be competitive if they want to stay in it. So plus 199 odds I got 1 unit on that.
Plus 199. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really just hoping that Stafford throws the ball more to Kupp, and that's really it.
Yeah, I just think Nakua, like they're just gonna flop back and forth.
Yeah,
most games. Not that either can't get.
I think Kupp will always reign higher, just for whatever reason. Yeah. Last week was phenomenal. Plus, they played Steelers. I mean,
they still both had good targets. It's just
they played the Steelers.
It's gonna flip flop back and forth, and Puka can easily still get like 70 yards, but I feel like 6 receptions is pretty good for an under.
Yeah.
For anybody really. My next one. So this guy, a lot of people might not be familiar with, but he's another rookie that was injured to start the year, so he's been really slow to get going.
Know what you're gonna say,
but Demario Douglas,
nope.
On the Patriots, he is a super electric fast receiver that
I don't even know him.
Purposely drafted because of his speed. Obviously you can't really compare him to Tyreek or Waddle yet, but that's what people compare when they see flashes of him. His line is super, super low. Mainly just because he hasn't been playing. Like I said, last week was his first week at over 50% snaps. And he's getting now like 5 or 6 targets. They're going to really try to scheme him in to keep winning games because they've actually been winning games. They upset the Bills. But yeah, anyway, his line over 26.5 receiving yards. You give a guy this fast 5, 6 targets, he's easily hitting this. Like there's no chance in hell unless he drops every ball. They play the Dolphins, so it should be a high-scoring game where they have to pass. Because I see the Dolphins at home putting up a lot of points.
Tough part is Juju's back.
I don't
Bourne's
care.
there.
I'm telling you, this dude was drafted to be their next newest best weapon. At 26.5 receiving yards, it's insanely low for a guy that could rip one off in one play.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I was looking for his alternate over to, like, see if there's a high boost. There's none. So if that tells you they're, like, scared to give you good odds, because there would be really good odds for, like, 50, 60-plus receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
But check out if you can find that on a different book. I wasn't able to find it. And then I got one more. So not a long shot, but a same-game parlay that I like. So we're taking Demario Douglas, same play over 26.5 receiving yards. Taking Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, wait. For Douglas, the single line over 26.5, I got 1.5 units on that.
Okay.
It was negative 114 odds. Back to the same game parlay. Douglas over 26.5. Ramondre Stevenson. I've liked the bets you've been putting on him, so hopefully he doesn't screw me this week. But over 17.5 receiving yards. Jalen Waddle, I think with Tyreek Hill being a little injured, he's going to get a little more work this week. So I got him at 5+ receptions. Those 3 legs, you get plus 530 odds. So I got a half unit on that same game parlay.
Sheesh. If that one hits.
And final prop.
Destroy me.
I'm pulling from that same game parlay. I got Stevenson over 17.5 receiving for 1 unit.
Over what?
17.5 receiving.
You said you didn't like that last week, and I took it.
Yeah, I know. But you've hit back-to-back weeks with it. And he's back-to-back had 5 targets, so I just said, as long as he doesn't screw me.
I got 6 targets last week.
Yeah, whatever. Either way, I like it, so I'm going to put 1 unit on it. I'm not super confident, but I feel like 17.5 is still a low line versus, especially in this kind of game script, like they're going to throw the ball, so everybody's going to get.
Nah, I looked into this game, and my 2 favorite players getting the ball.
Like, what's the overall?
I don't even know who your rookie is. My 2 favorite people getting the ball is Bourne and Stevenson.
See, I think Bourne's going to have a down game just because of the healthy receivers coming back, and what's his name? The guy I was talking about, Douglas. The over-under is not super high, but 46.5 on a negative 10 spread.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about points, that's points. That means their Patriots are putting up like 26 to 30 expected. And the Patriots are not, the Dolphins are expected to put up that. And the Patriots might have put up points, but they're going to have to put up yards.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to be putting up passing yards at least.
But that's it for props and whatever.
All right, it's the long shot
of the week. I'm gonna
giveaway.
This is it.
I thought I was gonna hit
really
last week.
freaking good.
And
I don't
Cup was
remember
part
yours.
of mine.
Oh, is that what it
So
was?
I didn't even look at the rest. I said, screw it. I don't care. This game sucks.
My long shot was trash last week.
All right, I'm gonna move on to my long shot. Mine is a toughie one this week, but it is what it is. That means I can give away more. Last time I tried the safe route, and then Cup screwed me. So we're gonna try this week. It's plus 2,729, so 1,700 over our 1,000 limit, our minimum. I got Christian McCaffrey over 75.5 rushing yards. I already talked about that as one of my prop bets. And then see, this is all same game. I'm going to take Brock Purdy, anytime touchdown score. He's had 2 this season. I don't know if he got another one. I don't think so.
Straight out of the concussion? You don't think he's going to be scared?
Dude, my dude's never scared. He came in the freaking league as the last pick and just shows up
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
week in and week out. He's not scared.
I bet you he goes under his rushing yards.
That's fine. He could
What
run
are
it
they,
in
10
with
and a
like,
half?
I don't know. He could run it in with like a 5-yard
Yeah.
rush or less and go and hit it. And still go under his rushing. But Brock Purdy has gotten a decent amount, so I'm going to take that. Like I said, it's a long shot parlay. It's not a short shot parlay. And then I got San Francisco 49ers alternate spread at -1.5. So basically, they just got to win the game, unless for whatever reason the game ends 26 49ers and 25.
I forget who they play, so don't ask me.
I forget again. So who cares?
Oh,
Anyway,
Bengals.
Bengals. And then the last leg is Joe Mixon over 18.5 receiving yards. This dude is weird. I have him in my fantasy all year. He gets work both directions, receiving and rushing, but never anything crazy. And he somehow just very consistent, 10 points week in and week out. But I think that 49ers are going to be able to control the game and be in the lead most of the time, especially with CMC's press conference this past week, just being really down on himself, basically blaming everything on himself about giving the ball away, having horrible back-to-back weeks, and him being hurt but wanting to bounce back, and he feels a lot better now. So with that press conference, gave me good confidence that they can come back and not lose 3 weeks in a row, which means that Bengals will have to be throwing more. Bengals already throw a lot. So I'm going to take Joe Mixon's over 18.5 receiving yards. This can literally happen off 2 plays, if not 1 play. So that gives you, like I said, plus 2,729 points. Odds.
0.1 odds.
And hopefully that hits so I can give away some Kiz cash.
All right. On to my long shot. I got plus 1,524 odds. So I got the same bet I had before, Olave and Downs, but now I have Olave 6+ receptions, Downs 5+ receptions. So still very doable for those guys. I got Eagles money line. They play the Commanders. Should be easy dub. I got Jags -2.5. Hopefully the Steelers don't screw me twice in a row. And I got Detroit money line, Lions money line, which I think it's part of my lock. So,
Detroit money.
So you put them all together, you get that 1,500 odds. Yep,
I like
that's the long
The
shot.
tough one's going to be obviously the receptions, but
You say that until the
Definitely
Steelers won again, I'll be like, what the
Bro.
fudge?
if
What are they now? 4-2?
dude, they're first in their division. Isn't that
Yeah, they're like
insane?
4-2.
They're over Ravens. That's insane.
Over Ravens, over Bengals. Well, Bengals have been trash lately,
Ravens
but
destroyed
over
the Lions,
Browns.
and they're over Ravens. They beat
That's just
Browns. They beat
wild.
Ravens. They got destroyed by 49ers and then basically just changed everything. So
they're not even going to be. Well, they're not going to get a bye. Well, I mean, I guess they could.
it's
But
crazy because I opt out of one of my future bets that would I forget what it was. It wasn't 10+. It was
you opted out of that. You
out of one of the
cornball?
things I opted out. One of the things.
Oh, you're
and then
puss.
and now they're just winning like crazy. I'm like, damn. It was only like $10, so I don't really give a crap. So it is what it is. But either way, I'm going to
We're gonna have
move
to pull
on
that from your list.
I am going to move on to a giveaway long shot parlay.
What?
This-
They're all giveaways.
Yeah, but this one's straight from the heart.
This one.
This one I'm feeling extremely confident. It's only plus 365.
Okay.
This doesn't go on a
It's
record.
not a long shot. It's just,
Right. This doesn't go on a record. This is something just personal, and I'm going to
Okay.
personally give it away.
Let's personally see what. Tell you.
I am
it's not gonna
taking
hit.
Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5.
Oh my god! Why you gotta do that? Like,
Well, I already had it before you, and I have more
Yep.
money on it than you, so I don't want to hear.
All I'm saying is every time.
So anyway, Steelers obviously beat Rams last week. for whatever reason, they keep coming away with these wins, but I think Jacksonville's defense can hold them. And I don't think Steelers offense is going to be able to move the ball like they did last week. And I get it's at Pittsburgh, which can help a lot. Trust me, Pittsburgh Stadium is insane. And then the second leg is Brian Robinson to get 25 rushing yards, 25 plus rushing yards. It's Commanders running back versus the Eagles. This dude's line is at 32.5. If anyone wants to look at 36.5, I think it is actually.
Yeah,
which is insanely low for a starting running back.
Under 20,
but if they keep him under, if they keep him under 36.5, all respect, dude. I might have to hit the under for every single week going forward. Obviously, that has to do with them blowing out Washington for them to do that. But either way, I'm taking him at 25 on alternate rushing yards. And then my last leg. All right, we're moving away from the NFL.
4?
Three.
Right.
Plus 365. Moving away from the NFL. Can you guess where I'm going? Just right off the top of your dome.
Away from the NFL.
Been talking about them nonstop.
The Rangers money line?
Nah. I'm taking Michigan minus 5.5.
God.
This giveaway will be stretched a little bit because the first two legs will hit, and then we'll have to wait on the third leg.
Actual line?
-5, yes. -5.5. They've covered, I'm almost sure, besides the first week, I don't know. I didn't look at during that time. They've covered every single time, and they've had covers of 37 points, 26 points, 29 points, 19.5 points, 17.5 points. So they've covered everything, and now they're getting -5.5 versus Penn State. Penn State kept the game very close versus Ohio State, but they still didn't even cover the +5.5 versus Ohio State. Michigan is way better than Ohio State. Ohio State has like a quarterback that was back up to dude that just came. I just talked about Panthers. Suck. Yeah. Anyway, they all suck regardless. But yeah, the Penn State has a rookie. He's literally 19 years old, quarterback, and he plays very good versus really bad colleges, and then versus tough defenses, which Michigan has the best defense in the college right now. I was gonna say in the state. I was like, that makes no sense. In college, they have the best defense in college right now. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to do Jack Daniels versus this, and I can honestly see them beating him by 20 points, so covering 20, and I'm only getting 5.5.
Penn State money line it is.
And sorry to tell you guys, you can't bet on Penn State versus Michigan right now on FanDuel. They just took it off the books, but I got it, so
why?
Sucks to suck. I don't know why.
It's probably an injury or something they're waiting for.
They don't play until November 11th, so this will be pushed off a little bit.
What the fudge is with your locks? Oh, it's not a lock.
It's not a lock. This is just a giveaway from the heart, baby. This is a giveaway from the heart. Whatever. This is for the people. But yeah, I will be giving away some cash money because I know this will hit. So we'll see you guys in November 11th to be giving away that bet, and hopefully the first two hit, so then I can watch Michigan game and feel very confident that this is going to hit. But moving on to what you guys are really here for, what we're really here for, what's kept us in the game, our locks. Even though we lost.
Yeah, you already lost a lock.
Don't
put we. Don't put we.
Hey, we're in this together, right? You lost one, I lost one, I lost another one Thursday. It is what it is. I did some dumb stuff Thursday, but it is what it is. I was going to do one year, and I was like, let's just top Josh. And obviously, top and Josh didn't work.
You should have followed me.
Follow the train. I never follow people that are.
At least privately follow.
Yeah, even privately, I just didn't. I don't know. I could have, but regardless, we are what 10.
So I just 10-3. I'm very confident in my bet, but right now, yeah, we're 10-3-2.
10-3-2 on locks in the year. So we will go over our locks this week. Josh already did his lock. Are you adding another one, or are you good?
I'm good because I'm feeling real good about his 8 units.
So all he needs is, what do you have left?
Lions -2.5.
There you go. And they play who?
The Raiders at home. They get to play.
And you got how many units? 8
units on it to win 6 units.
All right. So let's see how that goes. My lock of the week is in the San Francisco 49ers game. Got a lot on this game versus the Bengals. Hopefully it's a good game.
Gosh.
It's Sunday, 4 o'clock, if anyone wants to watch it. Steelers and Eagles will be done, so no Pennsylvania games. I don't really know any other games that are good. Chiefs playing the 4 o'clock,
if I think, win that, can I get like...
But either way, I got 49ers money line as one of the legs. If they lose 3 weeks in a row, this is starting to look bad for the 49ers. I get the Bengals can do it. Like, if anyone's going to beat them, it would have been this team versus the other two that they just lost to. I get it. But hear me out. I just can't see them losing 3 weeks in a row, especially with Trent Williams coming back. Hopefully, they say that he's most likely going to, but it's not a definite yet. Hopefully, he comes back and they can run the ball a lot better. Christian McCaffrey gets back into the game, like I just said. Go watch his press conference. It makes you feel a little bit better. And then the second line, I'm taking Christian McCaffrey at 50 rushing yards. And this gives you a minus 152, so it's obviously still juiced. And that's why I'm just going to do it again. You know what I mean? The last week didn't work out. None of my locks that I've been this high on have not worked out. But I'm feeling good about this one. I'm feeling actually, I would say this is the second best one I felt out of my 10 units. I'm putting 10 units on this, minus 152. For San Francisco to win and CMC to get 50-plus rushing yards at minus 152. The Saints one was my first one. That pushed. My second one was last week for Kupp to get 70 receiving yards and San Francisco 49ers to cover by plus 3.5, and they didn't even do that. So hopefully they do it this week for me, and we can bounce it around. 10 units, minus 152. San Francisco 49ers, CMC, 50-plus rushing yards, and that's what I got. So that is the locks of the week.
If you, just a suggestion, if you happen to the slim people out there that maybe took my lock, if you want to play it super safe, I don't really suggest it just because I like the Lions. Just ride it out. But if you want, you could put 2 units on the Raiders money line. They're a plus 300. So if you put 2 units on the Raiders money line to kind of hedge your bet before, they'll win you 6 units if they win. So if you put my lock in and then you bet 2 units on the Raiders money line, if the Raiders win, then you'll lose 2 units total. So negative 2 units if the Raiders win.
But we ain't about losing, so
yeah. If you do that, and then if the Lions keep the spread, which if they win, they're going to keep the spread of negative 2.5. A really slim chance they won by 1 or 2 points.
Montgomery back?
So if the Lions, originally hit that lock, then you'll still profit 4 units. So like if you want to play it safe, so you win 4 units or only lose 2 units, you could hedge that versus just winning 6 units or losing 8 straight up. Some people like playing it safe when they're placing really big bets, so if you want, you can do that. I want to suggest it just because, I mean, there's an 8-point spread that it's at negative 2.5 left on the parlay, but just an option. Always look to hedge your bets. Sometimes it's really smart, all depending on the parlay and what the odds are.
Yeah, but I feel very confident Lions are going to beat, if not destroy, the Raiders. So
yeah, I just hate that it's Monday night.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I gotta wait the whole time?
And it's minus 2. If it was minus 1.5, I would feel extremely.
All right, now you just sound like a stupid handicapper. Like, it moved a half a point,
dude. After watching,
I'm really liking it.
Kupp get 30 yards last week, dude. I think anything can happen. Last week was the biggest BS. If I could break down everything that happened last week, it would blow your mind. Like Bills lost, Rams lost, freaking 49ers lost.
Survivor League. I'm like, great.
Everything, nothing made sense last week. The books won. Hand over hand, no doubt. But like always, like, comment, subscribe, and the best thing you can do is share to a friend. You guys are here for the locks, and most importantly, to spread the love. So hope you guys do that. And if you want to follow us on all of our social medias, you can get entered into our giveaways, which we will be giving away to Crystal. Shout out to her for winning this week, and then hopefully come November 11th, we will have one, if not 3. Based
got
upon
lots of specials coming up. Just wait, because I'm about to long shot. I'm going for 3 in a row.
All right, we haven't hit one, but sounds good.
I'll think hard.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Like I said, follow us on our YouTube. That's the best way to get entered in our thing. I think I'm going to up the ante. If you're a YouTube subscriber, you'll probably get 2 entries into our giveaway slots instead of 1. That way it means a little bit more to us. Plus, over on our reels, you can check out our Monday nights, Thursday nights, which I'm probably going to avoid now because I just lose week after week, and possibly Sunday nights. So have a good one. Enjoy your week. Happy Halloween. See you guys next week. Peace.